Hello everyone, Diamond Liger here with a review of Deepwater Horizon, based on the true story of the worst oil spill in US history. Now, I was never really hyped for this movie, but I had a day off school, so I figured, why not? This is getting some good buzz, and I was surprised how much I actually like this movie. It's really solid. Now, the plot of this thing is pretty straightforward. Now, something goes wrong on this oil rig, the titular Deepwater Horizon. It eventually explodes, and the characters have to deal with that. Now, the main thing that this movie does really well is tension. It takes a while for the movie to actually get going, for the disaster to actually happen, but that time is spent really well. It's used to develop the characters and to establish that BP, the guys who are running this rig, are ignoring safety procedures, sending people home, not doing proper tests. You know this eventual disaster is coming, but by really establishing how many times BP screws up, it builds a lot of tension so that when the rig eventually explodes, it is more effective. And the reason that time spent on character development works is because all the actors do a good job. Mark Wahlberg is pretty much the main guy in this movie. He does a really good job. Kurt Russell does a really good job. The person who by far stands out in this movie is John Malkovich. John Malkovich is one of the execs at BP. He is a dick. Like, it is astonishing how many safety procedures this idiot does not follow, because he's just like, oh, we just need to drill and make our money. Screw the testing. I'm sure everything's fine. He might get a Best Supporting Actor nomination for this because it is really a great performance. He is just a completely slimy asshole for a good chunk of the movie. I'd say the movie kind of has something in common with Titanic in that there's this huge disaster, everything goes wrong, and everyone is kind of losing it, just calling the Coast Guard, calling anyone they can for help, rushing to get to the lifeboats, not getting to them in time, just doing anything they can to just try and stop their death from happening. This is real edge of your seat kind of stuff, especially because some of the CGI could use some improvement, but when you see the rig on fire, it is monstrously huge. So you really feel the amount of trouble and terror that the characters do. That, I think, about sums this movie up. Again, it's a pretty straightforward movie. There's not too complex of a plot, but it is very intense. It has great performances from the actors, and it has an added element of this actually happened 6 years ago. I remember this being on the news. It would have been effective just as a fictional story, but it's more effective when you stop and think, this actually happened. People actually died and went through this. So yeah, I definitely recommend seeing Deepwater Horizon. That's about all I have to say for that, so take care, everyone.